There are those out there who ask me, what makes you think you can take this on? To them, I say this. I have lived and breathed every square kilometer of this country from the day I was born. I've lived and worked in the East.
That's Justin Trudeau speaking ahead of his showcase event over the weekend. Trudeau is widely considered to be the front runner in the Liberal leadership race. The winner is set to be announced on Sunday. And Justin Trudeau and this race and who will lead our country in the future is our topic today. Our panel, Melanie Adams from Bob FM, John Brenner from CFRA, Michael O'Byrne from CTV News at Noon. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Well, very different Justin Trudeau we saw in that clip there. Polished, calm, collected. Not the Trudeau we're used to in the past.
Yeah, the sort of chilled out, laid back sort of, you know, look at my hair.
Yes.
He has lovely hair.
Would you vote for him for his hair?
I would vote for the hair, for
the
sure.
hair,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it appears a lot of people would vote for Justin Trudeau, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like he'll be the Liberal leader after this weekend's convention wraps up. Your thoughts on Trudeau?
I like him. I don't know if I would like him as much if I didn't kind of already know who he was. I know a lot of people say that he's only gotten as far as he has because of who his dad is. And to some extent that's probably true, but I think that's unfair. Even children of famous people can be smart and grow up to be members of society who accomplish things. Like, to say that it's only because of who his dad is really unfair.
Has he changed a lot? Has they have the Liberal Party, his losing my words here right now, the people who would be putting him into the position he's in right now, John, are they putting him into a better light? Are they cleaning him up and making him leader-worthy?
I think he's responsible for that.
You
he
think so?
sees the bigger picture, because before he only saw himself as a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
But now he realizes that if he wants to do what he's doing, and that's become the leader of the party, he's got to figure out a way to pull it all together. So he has to see himself in that light. So I think he's matured a lot. And it's like everything else. It's a progression, and we learn by doing. So he's going to trip, he's going to stumble, he's going to make mistakes. But the bigger man or woman recognizes that they will trip, and that they have a lot of people around them to help bring them up when they need to be brought up.
And he has a great name that's going to bring him back up.
Is that star power of the Trudeau name what's going to put him to the top?
Absolutely. This is Trudeau-mania. Reprised from the late 1960s. Well, I can speak for myself, probably you too. We remember Trudeau.
I was taken to Diefenbaker parades, I'm sorry.
Oh, you were? Okay, so
that's
going way back.
My dad brought me, I had to go.
I was 13 or 14 when Trudeau-mania hit, and I remember that as a young man who really wasn't into news or anything. But my sister's 4 or 5 years older than me, and she was really caught up in this whole Trudeau thing and the whole charisma of Pierre Trudeau. And Justin has that same charisma. Over the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to spend an evening with him at various social events, and he really is a really nice young man. I didn't really think he was going to go on to become the leader of the Liberal Party. We all knew he had aspirations, but this is absolutely a coronation, and he may become Prime Minister.
Very much. You say young. That's another key word here. He's young, and he's also appealing to younger voters. He has some 200,000 followers on Twitter. And as you know, the new age of elections, where we're leaning on social media, how important is all that going to be to his campaign and to moving forward and to taking on Stephen Harper, Mel?
I think it's hard to get young people to vote. And anything that any of the parties can do, and I'm including myself in this, it's really hard for me to drag my butt out to vote. But if they start giving us reasons and they start speaking to us a little more, I think that you're going to see a huge shift in politics in this country.
We haven't heard much of any kind of a platform from him yet, John. Is that a good strategic move to hold on to where he's going? I mean, after next Sunday, is that a safe time, or should he be holding on even longer?
I think it's still being formulated, and there's no point in spilling your cards all over the table when I'm sure he hasn't even figured it out himself.
Right.
So you've got to go one step at a time. If he becomes the leader of the party, then you sit down with the party mechanics and you figure out, where are we now? Where do we want to go that's different from what our adversaries are advocating and doing?
Right.
And then how do we convince the electorate? And I think talking about young people, that's very important, because today's youth
Right.
are the ones who are going to be paying the bulk of the taxes in the coming years and
Tomorrow
decades.
in the future, right?
Yes.
We have a board I want to get to. This is to show, and I want to get your take, Michael, if this is surprising to you. If there was an election held today, 32% of respondents said they would support the Trudeau-led Liberals. So if he gets the leadership, as on Sunday, 31% would vote Conservative, 27% would vote NDP. And those numbers for the Liberals are up. The Conservatives are down slightly. Is this a trend you think we're going to continue to see in polls after Sunday?
Well, those numbers are a virtual tie and really augur well for the next election in 2015. It's going to be a fascinating election.
Yeah.
People like hope. Barack Obama got elected President of the United States on hope, not on a terrific platform, but on hope. Now, it's not that we're in bad shape politically in this country. I'm totally non-political, but Stephen Harper really hasn't done a bad job. Look at the world economic situation and look how Canada has weathered it. Not so bad. But people, you know, generations change, and the young voters, or the young people who weren't voters are now going to be voters. They can relate to this guy.
Right.
He's good looking, he's charismatic, he's smart, and he has a great name. And people just might hop on that bandwagon, and policy may not matter a whole lot.
That's a very good point, and it's been nearly 10 years of a Conservative government, so if people are looking for change,
That's right.
perhaps it's the time.
Yeah.
All right, thanks very much to our panel today.